Shalom and welcome to Mitzvot Torah. This year is entitled, at times, at least for now, the blind must lead the blind. And that's a bit of a radical point, but I think at this point in Klal Yisrael's development, 2,000 years after the temple's been destroyed, Yetz Hashem will have the Migdash Mashiach back soon, B'mher V'yameinu, speedily in our days, especially as we begin to mourn the Migdash during the 3 weeks. But it's been 2,000 years. And we don't have the Migdash, we don't have the Gula Shlema yet. And for now, I think we need to have the blind leading the blind. Now, what does that mean? In my opinion, all of Ashvatim are very, very holy. The Hasidish world and the Yeshivish world, the Misnagdish world and the Mizrahi world, everyone has greatness. But 2,000 years since the Churban, no group has it right. Totally. We all have our areas of specialty, and we all have our weaknesses. And that's just the way it is. It's not like Moshe Rabbeinu's times where he's commanding each Shevet, giving each one their special mission, and like Yaakov did as well. We each sort of develop our own special mission, but it's not worked out. We don't synthesize with the other tribes. We just each one do our thing. Each one of us does our thing. And sort of just evolve together. And Baruch Hashem, we do all right together. But what do I mean about the blind leading the blind? Each Shevet has its greatness, but I think we have our challenges. In certain areas, each Shevet might have a blind spot. One Shevet may go ahead and be unbelievable with tznius and with learning, packing the base medrashes day and night. And when it comes to reading history, looking back, the last 200 years, 70 years since the establishment of the state, 51 years since the Six-Day War, where we tripled our size, regained control of the holiest places in Israel, and especially Yerushalayim and the Har HaBayit. And some of the Holy Fathers see nothing in that, or negative, and they don't mark the day with any kind of celebration, Hakarat Tov to Hashem, to the Chayalim, nothing. To me, that's a blind spot. Holy people, great people, but there's a blind spot there. And you can have other people that recognize the holiness of the day and the holiness of what's going on and the greatness of history, and celebrate and part of the Medina and helping you grow economically, militarily, spiritually, in every kind of way. But it may not be as much strength, put as much strength into the spirituality, into learning, filling out the base measures as much as possible. And there may be a blind spot into the importance of filling the base medrash up. I don't care whether the person is 20 years old or 50 or 70 years old. Every shul should be having a seder. At nighttime, finish with work, 2 hours before Marv, there should be a seder going on. And you can have some shuls where people understand what's going on in Jewish history and they're part of it, but it's quiet all week. And on Shabbos, comes to life again. Maybe a mom, you have a nice minion, maybe a shir before and after Daf Yomi or something like that, but it's not filled up. There's not a cold Torah like it should be. So what do I'm saying? Each group, each of our holy Shvatim is holy. There's a lot of greatness in each Shevet, but each Shevet has its blind spots. And what has to be done for now, in my opinion, each Shevet has to be able to see from the other Shevet. The Shevet that's so into learning and tznius is great. See how that Shevet who's celebrating historical events that are going on. Maybe I should be learning for them. Maybe I'm a bit off over here. And the Shevet that's celebrating history and being part of history and building history, but sees, wow, these guys are learning hours and hours a day. I'm not spending so much time. My base medrash, my shul is pretty quiet. Maybe I have to learn from them. And that's the explanation of the title of the Shia, The Blind Leading the Blind, meaning someone who's holy, part of a great Shevet, a great tribe, but has a certain blind spot. And there's another Shevet who's great in other areas, but he has his blind spot. We all need to learn from each other, because each Shevet has its greatness and may have a blind spot. And instead of looking down at the other Shevet, where maybe he's seeing his blind spot, see his greatness. And learn from his greatness. And appreciate the greatness and embrace it. And Yetz Hashem. In that way, instead of splintering up further and further from each other, we can appreciate the areas of strength that each tribe has. And Yetz Hashem learn and grow from each other. Shalom.